I would say that one of the biggest factors that makes me realize that I'm doing well in a class is my ability to connect what I've learned in the class to material outside the class, whether it's other coursework I've taken or work I've done in an internship or in a job or just any industry knowledge. Being able to connect what I learned in the classroom to other classroom topics or stuff from outside would really make me realize that I'm understanding the material and feel like I'm doing well in the class.
I think I feel like I'm thriving in a class when, first of all, I'm doing pretty well, but also that I feel like I know where to go, who to see, and what to do when I feel like I'm starting to struggle. Um, so if I feel like my professor is very available, or I know some people in my class that are very familiar with the topic, then I feel like I have a plan in place in case things go wrong, and I think that helps me feel better about how I'm doing.
In specifics, I've felt like currently in my digital signal processing class, whenever I'm feeling like a bit lost, what really kind of brings me back into the course is like thinking about how it can be applied into the real world almost, where it doesn't feel fruitless that I'm learning this, that there's a general purpose behind the being taught the information.
Another thing is being able to know what's expected of me right off the bat. So, for example, just clear grading criteria, or this is what you need to do in order to be successful. And there's been a lot of times where professors will sort of hide that, and that's not helpful for me. I want to be able to understand, okay, this is very clear what I should be able to put forward in order to feel like I'm doing okay in the class, and just understanding the expectations and not really waiting until the end to say, oh, well, this is where I am relative to the other students or relative to before or whatnot. Just that sort of understanding really helps as well.
Well, I feel like I'm thriving in a class when I fully understand what's going on, when I'm not confused, when I ask questions and when the questions are answered. I feel like I feel more comfortable with the subject material, and just feeling comfortable in that class or whatever class I'm taking will allow me to know that I'm thriving. And then also when I don't struggle on the homework, because a lot of times in many courses here that I've taken, I struggle on homework, and if I'm not struggling, then I know I'm doing well.
I really feel like I'm doing well in a class, or that I'm thriving in a class, when I can just kind of effortlessly understand things and I don't need to put in those extra hours on top of when I'm sitting in lecture, when I'm doing my homework. Just basically doing that will make me feel like I'm adequately prepared for an exam. That's not always the case if I'm thriving in a class, but that's when I really feel it, is when I can just sit down and after a lecture, not really even look at my notes, just sit down and do the homework without really needing to stress about it. That's when I really feel like I'm thriving.